Hi, this is Ravi Narayan, mentor at MentorSquare. I'm going to speak about managing execution. Execution for any enterprise, small or large, is the centerpiece for success. A poor idea and a poor execution obviously means it's an unsuccessful enterprise. Good idea, but still poor execution will lead to a poor enterprise. But if you have a decent idea and great execution, you have a good enterprise, a respectable enterprise. But what's a killer combination is having a great idea and flawless execution. That's when you have a successful enterprise. So what you see here is execution is the one that's making a huge difference. If you have great execution, flawless execution, the correlation with success is much higher. So you can have a great idea, but if you don't do a great job with it, obviously you're not going to have the kind of results that you're looking for. And that's why you don't see eBay having ideas sold, because having ideas is very easy. It's simple, lots of ideas floating around. But how do you take it and make it into an enterprise? Execution makes all the difference. Now, what's important for execution? Hard work. That's usually what people gravitate to. Yes, it is hard work, but more important is smart work. So what is smart work? Smart work is you have thought through what is it that needs to be accomplished. You have a plan, a strategic plan. So you know where you want to go, how do you want to get there, and then you're able to now chart your progress on the plan and see where do you stand, have you made enough progress, have you not made enough progress, and so on and so forth. So slowly and surely you're actually making progress down the path of the plan. That is good execution. So a good strategic plan and good execution makes smart work. Activities are not a reflection of progress. A lot of times people feel that they're doing a lot of things, 14-hour days, doing so many things, but at the end of the day they feel that they haven't accomplished anything, the problems still remain the same. All the wonderful ideas that they wanted to work on have not been executed, and the problems that they have swept under the carpet continues to be there. So progress based on a plan is usually a way for you to measure how you're doing and how successful you are in conducting those activities. And of course, the plan will have those measurable milestones, tangible milestones, so you can see whether you are there or you're not there. And to make all of this happen, you have to be very clear that it's you who lays out the plan, and if you are able to get the rest of the organization to come in and participate or own the plan with you, then you have great execution. People are a key ingredient to making execution happen. In the next slide, what I have put together is a sample of a company that has laid out how they would like to come up with a plan and how they're going to measure their success. So it's an IT product company, so it may not be exactly in line with what you have in mind, but at the same time it kind of gives you a flavor for how this thing works out. So let's say you come up with 4 different milestones: a prototype, first build, soft launch, final launch. You describe it quite well so that you know exactly whether you have finished the prototype or not, first build or not. You have a certain date that is associated with the completion, and then you also have broken it down for each group in the company so that they know exactly what they are going to do, so that ultimately the company has reached its milestone and therefore can say, yeah, they got there. So this is a very detailed document that is here. Can be made even more detailed, but the point I'm trying to make here is just to give you a flavor for putting something like this together for yourself as well. So once you have this, what does it give you? It gives you an understanding of where are you today. And then if you know exactly where you are and where you want to be, you know exactly where the gaps are in terms of funding, in terms of technology, in terms of marketing, and then you just work on them. And these different activities and initiatives can work together to make it happen if there are interdependencies. So you are very clear as to how all these things come together. So that ultimately the gaps and the issues at the corporate level are also fulfilled. While this is what happens from the inside and what aligns people, aligns energies in making this happen, the external perception is also very important. So, what does that mean? It's a very important thing to note. So, in a very early stage company, for example, when you are at the first build area, you have shown to the external world that it's no longer an idea. You have potential market, customers, business model, all that is pretty much figured out, and you have a working product. When you move to the final launch, the external perception of the company is that now they actually are getting ready to have some paying customers. Now they're working towards profitability and so on and so forth. So it is a clear change from how it was when they were doing the first build to how they're going to be perceived when they get to final launch. So while achieving these milestones, it's very easy now to see what worked, what did not work, and using these milestones, you are able to further refine the next set of milestones that you are very clear that you can actually hit those milestones very easily. And then as you go along, you're able to feel a sense of accomplishment, sense of success, even when if it is a small milestone that has been accomplished, saying that, hey, indeed, we are moving, we are making progress, we are getting there. Important thing in a execution regimen is the communication part. So I usually like to have a formal and the informal part working very well together. In the formal, usually you have daily meetings, 10 minutes a day, standing meetings so that everybody is on the same page, knows what's happening, what's not happening, what needs to come together from different groups so that the milestones can be met. It's a very quick meeting. There are no detailed discussions. It's just that are we able to move forward like we had planned, or there are major gaps so that then they can sit down and talk about it separately. But when you have the 20-minute meeting or a 10-minute meeting, sometimes you're all standing. So you're not there to have detailed discussions. You're there to make sure that you're all on the same page when you start work for the day. And in a weekly meeting, of course, you have much more elaborate discussions, but still crisp. 10 to 10:20, let's say, is follow from the last week's action items. 10:20 to 11 is updates from each of the areas of the company. 11 to 11:30, very clearly, you're now noting down what the gaps are, what the course corrections are required. And 11:30 to 12, very clearly document what the action items are and start working on them. Finally, when we come to the informal part, here you're energizing people, you're making them work together towards a common goal. So team bonding is extremely important. Sharing experiences, how they went about doing things, how other people can learn if they are working in an area which is very new to them, discussing certain issues, and at the end of the day, always celebrating success. Positive reinforcement of success obviously means that there are going to be more success and therefore positive results.
So, in summary, execution is the cornerstone, the centerpiece of the success of an enterprise. To make this happen, it's very important to have a plan in place with very clearly defined milestones of how the different teams, different groups within the organization will come together so that the organization's execution moves from one step to the other, one stage to the other. So, this plan provides the entire organization to move in a concerted way towards the same set of objectives. It also provides a way to manage and measure progress on execution and at the same time make course correction if necessary. To aid all that, it is very important to have a clear communication regimen so that there is continual flow of information, of concerns, of validations across the organization so that the entire organization works in tandem to make execution happen and make sure that the organization reaches its objectives.
So hopefully this has given you an idea as to how to manage execution in a company, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have as we go along. Thank you very much.